It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
To the Falcons nest and onto the campus of Pennsbury High School as we get you set for some high school hoops on the WBCB Sports Network. Chris Ermer with Gus Barber, Makai Gundy, Ben Goldstein, ready to bring you coverage as the Pennsbury Falcons host the Pennridge Rams. It's an SOL crossover matchup tonight. The Falcons riding a 5-game win streak into tonight's game. Pennridge, though, also ripping off 4 straight victories, so something's got to give between these two teams. Pennsbury with a 7-3 overall record and a very similar 7-4 overall mark for Pennridge. Tonight's game on WBCB is brought to you by Jefferson Health, the Revere Restaurant. Thanks to McCaffrey's Supermarket, this is the McCaffrey's Game of the Night. McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day. Thanks to Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, the Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority, Penn Community Bank, St. Mary Medical Center, Team Toyota, Di Lorenzo's Pizza on New Falls Road, the Berg Pizza, Jammer Doors and Windows, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the Trentonian, and this is the Trentonian pregame show. Both teams getting warmed up, ready to go, and we'll get to the start of tonight's game in just a little bit. Again, brought to you by the Trentonian. Read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian or check them out online, Trentonian.com. And thanks to the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League, registration and league details available online at PRBLonline.com. Gus, great to be back with you. Happy New Year. Makai, good to be here at the Falcons Nest and ready for some more high school hoops. Gus, an impressive break for Pennsbury as they win the Wildwood Boardwalk B-Ball Classic, beating Shawnee and PJP II in a couple of games. So that's given them a little bit of momentum to ride tonight.
Yeah, we may have been on holiday break, but the Pennsbury basketball team was not. As we were unwrapping presents and counting in the new year, they were catching dubs, going to that tournament, catching that win, getting the tournament championship, and just really rolling. And it's a really good time for this team to really start figuring things out. Obviously, after coming up the season opener, lost to the Chamonix, now getting some wins strung in a row now, really looking good as a team and trying to do a little crosstown rival in Pennridge.
Yeah, and at the start of the season, Gus, it was a loss, a win, a loss, a win. Now they've caught a wave of momentum. Impressive wins over Shawnee, beating them 64-33, and PJP II, 56-39 was the final as they took them down as well. But maybe Makai, even more impressive than how they played in that the Boardwalk Classic tournament, was beating North Penn in another SOL crossover game. They took care of the Knights 66-61 on Tuesday night up there, and that's a great way to get this crossover part of their league schedule underway.
Yeah, those SOL wins are coming huge and handy, so you want to rack up as much as you can. Pennsbury, like you said, started off a bit streaky with the season, and now you see them catching W's on their way to go streaking here to catch some more wins and just continue the success against Pennridge today.
Meanwhile, for Pennridge, though, Makai, they've been dealing with a stomach bug, COVID, those kind of things where they're just trying to get players healthy and have enough guys on their roster and know who's going to be available from night to night, from practice to practice, from day to day. That's been a challenge for Pennridge and probably for most of the programs in the area. I mean, it's cold and flu season, and that's just how it goes, but they have been dealing with that very recently. They said they got 11 guys healthy as of the 3rd of January, and they're hoping to improve and have more guys available as they go through this situation, but they're coming off a pretty big win over Truman, 53-19. And Gus, that's something that the Rams are trying to build off of as well. Pennsbury, a 5-game win streak. The Rams, they've won 4 in a row as well.
Yeah, like you said a couple minutes ago, both these teams really trending in the right direction, really getting hot when the time is needed. And like you said, a 5-win-in-a-row streak, 4-win-in-a-row streak. One of them's bound to break tonight.
Absolutely. And last time Pennsbury lost, you got to go back to the 15th of December when they played Bensalem, and that was a close game. 49-46 was the final there, and I know the Falcons, they'll have another chance to take on the Bensalem Owls, and you got to watch out what you wish for. Bensalem playing good basketball this year, but Pennsbury afraid of no opponent, and they're ready to go, and hopefully they can avenge that loss when they get back to league play. Pennridge, they haven't lost since the 20th of December. Their last loss came to CB West. So both teams with a pretty good win streak going. For Pennridge, one of the guys to keep an eye on is Matthew Campione, a 6'2 senior guard. Last year, kind of a down year for Pennridge overall, but he had a great season. He is, signed up, committed to go to Catholic University, and was a first-team All-SOL player last season. So we'll have our eye on him. The other guy who was impressive, I saw some of the stat lines, and he comes off the bench for them, Gannon Perlini. And he's scored in double digits a bunch of times, and sometimes when a guy starts on the bench, it raises my eyebrow to say, how come he's not in the starting lineup, and maybe just doesn't fit for one reason or another. But look to him to bring a spark off the bench. And again, that's Gannon Perlini, not in the starting 5, but a guy who's got the knack to put it through the cylinder for the Pennridge Rams. All right, we're minutes away from the start of tonight's game. It's Hall of Fame night, and at halftime, we hope to bring you the ceremonies. They'll be honoring all of the Hall of Fame members that played Pennsbury basketball, including Dustin DeFazio, and he's going to be the last guy introduced. He's the last man in to the Pennsbury Hall of Fame when it comes to hoops, as he was inducted this fall. So we look forward to that at halftime. It is Hall of Fame night tonight at the Falcons Nest. Again, SOL crossover action coming your way. And as the teams continue to warm up, we'll step aside momentarily and return with the start of the McCaffrey's Game of the Night on the WBCB Sports Network.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Jefferson Health has been serving Northeast Philadelphia and Bucks County for more than a century. Their Frankfort, Torresdale, and Bucks Hospital locations are there for you with primary and specialty care, emergency care, and of course, inpatient care. Wherever you live, work, or play, Jefferson Health is there with exceptional care. Jefferson is where you are. Call 1-800-JEFF now to schedule an appointment or visit jeffersonhealth.org.
McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, McCaffrey's is part of your community and a very proud supporter of our local high schools. For true value on the freshest meats and produce to their own prepared food department, to everyday savings on your necessary items, McCaffrey's is exceptional every day. And it's in your neighborhood in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. The Villages of Newtown at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Bluebell, Princeton, West Windsor, and the best of McCaffrey's in Doylestown. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
In Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, the Falcons Nest, Pennsbury High School. as the Falcons host the Rams of Pennridge. Tonight's game is the McCaffrey's Game of the Night, and it's also brought to you by Jammer Doors and Windows, a fourth-generation, family-owned and operated business since 1920. Showrooms in Lawrenceville and Yardley. Jammer provides sales, service, installation of garage doors and openers, and they do Raynor garage doors, both steel and aluminum. Raynor garage doors are crafted for durability. Jammer also has entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and windows, and they do their own work and installation. They don't use any subcontractors. Visit their showroom, 2850 Brunswick Pike on Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville and in Yardley. Their showroom is open by appointment. Give them a call, set up an appointment, 215-493-7709. Jammer Doors and Windows, 101 years of quality and commitment, and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. All right, we are ready to go, just about minutes away from the start of tonight's game. It is Hall of Fame night tonight. Mentioned that the Falcons won the Wildwood Boardwalk B-Ball Classic, and Gus, it seems like the student section has picked up on that beach theme. I'm not sure if it's a Hawaiian thing, if it's the, but they're going with
a lot of luau shirts.
Luau, maybe that's what.
A lot of luau shirts. Looking like a Hawaiian beach party right now. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm digging it though.
Well, we're getting closer to the start of tonight's game, and the Rams now 2-3 in conference play, and coming off of a big win over Harry S. Truman. Pennsbury winning against North Penn in their last game. And for the Rams, you know, they came into the season a bit inexperienced, but they have a lot of seniors in their starting lineup, and we'll get the starting lineups in just a little bit as we turn it over to PA man Dan Mahoney, and he'll set things up for the start of tonight's game on WBCB. Oh man, they got the Rocky music playing. Just the other day, I think it's on Netflix now, but on one of the streaming platforms they got Rocky going, and I love the movie Rocky. I mean, I don't like Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Apollo Creed, Rocky Balboa, Creed 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure about all those movies, but Rocky, that's a masterpiece.
Just
man.
the original Rocky. There's nothing like it.
They should have just stopped at Rocky. He couldn't help himself. That's Sylvester Stallone. All right, well, that's getting everybody pumped up here tonight. Falcons Nest, Pennsbury, and Pennridge getting set for a heavyweight battle. SOL crossover hoops action. And again, Hall of Fame night, some special honorary guests tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that will be honored at halftime.
Suburban One matchup between the Pennridge Rams and the Pennsbury Falcons. Please rise for our national anthem. This evening's national anthem will be performed by Pennsbury Senior and Chamber Choir member Cassie Daly. Let's hear it for Cassie Daly.
Great job with the national anthem.
And now, for tonight's starting lineups. For the Pennridge Rams, starting at forward, number 0, Caden Fisher. Starting at guard, number 2, Jake Busing. Starting at guard, number 4, Matt Campione. Starting at guard, number 13, Xavier Peters. And starting at forward, number 31, Tommy Kramer. The Rams are head coached by Mr. Dean Behrens, assistant coaches Steve Love, Jason Moyer, and John Altmeyer. And now, the starting lineups for the Pennsbury Falcons. Starting at guard, number 1, Teddy Mankin. Starting at guard, number 2, Mike Ragagrandi. Starting at forward, number 10, Connor Taddy. Starting at forward, number 25, Ryan Zuckerman. And starting at guard, number 15, Ty Kosak. The Falcons are head coached by Mr. Wes Emmy, assistant coaches Kurt Bergman, Mike Higgins, Jermaine Major, Lou Cognini, and John Love. Tonight's officials are Joe Anhalt, Kurt Holtz, and Steve Ockenhouse.
All right, set
I'd
to
like to
go.
remind you that tonight's game is being broadcast live on 1490 WBCB.
Hey,
so
that's
anyone
us.
Can't make it out here, make sure they check it out there.
Nice little shout
Also,
out
we
by
have
the
a
legend,
special
Mr. Mahoney.
halftime presentation. Tonight is Pennsbury Hall of Fame night. Make sure you join us at halftime for a very special presentation.
All right, well, we said Matt Campione, one of the guys to watch when you look at the Pennridge Rams. For the Pennsbury Falcons, Teddy Mangan has really turned it on of late, and he led them in scoring in those Wildwood Boardwalk Classic games. Also in double digits in those games was Danny Cohen, who will come off the bench for the Falcons. And we also looked at the 6'5", Ryan Zuckerman, who's averaging 6 points, 10 rebounds, a couple of blocks, and a couple of steals per game this season for the Falcons, and he wins the tap back to Connor Taddy. So Falcons will get it first. Yeah, really impressive contributions from Ryan Zuckerman, who's one of their Ty Kozak with the left hand, doesn't quite get it to go. A little too strong, comes off the rim. Zuckerman making that transition from the baseball diamond onto the basketball court. Didn't play organized hoops since he was a freshman and fit right in to what Pennsbury has done this season, providing some senior leadership along with fellow senior Ty Kozak. All right, perimeter work for the Rams. And now Busing will fire away. Long rebound is picked up by Caden Fisher, so the Rams with a second opportunity here. Runner, yes, Xavier Peters.
Beautiful looking floater right there being displayed.
Now with it, the Falcons, Ty Kozak. He'll pull up with a jump shot from the foul line. A little bit off the mark, and here's Peters racing it up the floor. Fisher back to Peters. Around the perimeter, there's Busing with it. Right now, the Rams really can't penetrate this Pennsbury defense, get anything inside. Around to Peters, now into the corner. It goes off of a foot. They'll call a kicked ball on the Falcons, and so the Rams will get to reset with an inbound. 6:18 to go, first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the day, 2-0 our score, as the Rams get on the scoreboard first with a bucket from Xavier Peters. Hall of Fame night tonight. I think there's about 20 guys that they will recognize and honor as Pennsbury Falcon Athletics Hall of Famers that primarily got there because of their basketball ability. Peters back out to Campione. Nice job there as slicing in was Zuckerman. And he tips it away. The Falcons get a steal. Now they get it to Zuck outside. He'll pull the trigger from 3 off the back rim. Not that time. And rebounded by Caden Fisher. That time a walk from Peters gives it right back to the Falcons with 5:39 to go first quarter. Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, Makai Gundy, Ben Goldstein in Fairless Hills. Great to have you with us. Connor Taddy, corner 3. A little too strong. Kozak fighting for the rebound. Can't quite come up with it. It's gathered in by Tommy Kramer. Now driving. Bank shot, no good from Campione. It's loose and finally picked up by Connor Taddy. Kozak cut off at the top of the key. He switches direction and the whistle blows. Going to be a foul on the Rams.
Fouls at number 4, Matt Campione.
Campione picks up his first and the first of the game tonight.
Both teams having a little hard time trying to score the ball today. You can credit that to both of their team defenses.
Yeah, low scoring first few minutes. Zuckerman takes the inbound, gives it right back to Kozak. Kozak goes left so effectively, and I think teams are a little bit more aware of that this season. Like Rocco Grandi tries the baseline, he's cut off there, gives it back up to Teddy Mangan. Around the perimeter, Kozak tries to send it back up top, and that's a backcourt violation as Connor Taddy goes back to retrieve it. So a Falcon turnover as we're almost midway through the first quarter. Little perimeter weave. They give it to Kramer, who penetrates but is cut off. Back out to Campione. Now they'll try the other side of the floor. Fisher with some post moves, gets the whistle and the bucket. Good work against Taddy.
Basket counts.
Makes it 4-0. And an opportunity at the line coming up for the Rams.
Fisher to the line, shooting 1.
Doing a good job showing that post control, showcasing his dominance and just taking over for the hook.
Can't make the three-point play. Rebound by Kozak. Mangan marked by Peters. Now Kozak, top of the key, holds it up over his head. Kick out, Taddy, 3, little short. Kozak rebound, drives, comes off the rim after going around and around. Pull up jump shot. And that's good from Matt Campione. Makes it 6-0. Campione thought he had a little contact there, was looking for the whistle. They pop it out to Connor Taddy, who gives it up to Kozak. Kozak making post moves, nice pass through the lane to Zuckerman. Pump fake, gets a defender on his back and earns him a trip to the line.
Fouls at number 31, Tommy Kramer.
Tommy Kramer picks up the foul.
Ryan Zuckerman to the line, shooting 2.
And that's what they're looking for from Ty Kozak, not just scoring, but also his playmaking ability, Gus.
Yeah, just trying to set everybody up in this offense, and has really done a great job this year so far of trying to set people up and get everybody involved offensively.
And he just has that kind of vision right there finding Zuckerman, but he comes up empty at the line.
Something Pennsbury struggled with all year.
Peters, that one rims out. And Zuckerman hands off to Mangan. It's tipped away. Active defensive hands by the Rams, and the Falcons will put it in play.
Number 3, Danny Cohen.
With just under 3 minutes to go first quarter.
You know, I remember when I was in high school, the basketball team would always stand up until the first points would be scored in the game.
Right, yeah.
And it's a good thing Pennsbury isn't right now.
A steal and a drive by Caden Fisher makes it 8-0. Into the game now is Pennsbury's Danny Cohen. And it's Cohen with the dribble. Goes right, takes it down the lane. He's cut off, looking for somewhere to go with it. Pops it out to Zuck. Falcons working around to Mangan. Mangan against Peters. Pulls up. Yes.
Teddy Mangan.
He's got that little mid-range jump shot game he's so confident in. As we mentioned, he'd been leading Pennsbury in scoring in the last few games. Puts him on the scoreboard here. Little free throw jumper. Not that time for Tommy Kramer. Mangan again. This time he sheds the defender. Had a wide open shot and just a little bit too strong there. Coming back the other way is Peters. He can't hit. Keep it alive underneath there. Kramer, it's bouncing around. Good ball movement by the Rams. And then a whistle, a foul. That's going to be a push on Pennsbury.
Yeah, beautiful move by Teddy Mangan on the offensive side. Just, you know
1,025.
what they say, $20 move, $5 finish. Couldn't get the bucket to go in, and just offensively, just Pennsbury really not getting the groove like they have the past couple games.
So a 30-second timeout called by the Pennsbury Falcons as they trail 8-2 in the McCaffrey's game of the night for complete auto service. You can trust the Peruzzi Auto Group for value and service on all makes and models. Free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service, a 10% military and law enforcement discount on any service. You buy 3 tires, you get the 4th tire free, which is good. You need 4 tires.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to go without that 4th tire.
That's right. And all service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi, big comfy waiting rooms. They have free Wi-Fi, early drop-off. Peruzzi service, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays open 7:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon on Business Route 1, where their business is you. The inbound knocked right back out again by Mangan.
Yeah, one thing I saw going into that time out there is Coach Bergman for Pennsbury just giving it to his team, not liking what he's seeing on the court right now, just trying to let his team know to get things changed around.
Now it looks like the Falcons in a, no, not in a zone defense, so they're still manned up. Campione drops it off to Kramer, long shot. No, and Zuckerman with the rebound.
Clean opportunity there, just couldn't get the shot to fall. And Pennridge getting a couple opportunities here.
And they've made the most of some of those opportunities to be up by 6. Inbound to Zuckerman, nice job.
Beautiful play. Zuckerman using his size to an advantage to post up in the post. Clear pass, gets it, and one. No and one, sorry, just went out with the basket.
And a great assist that time by Connor Taddy. Wonderful touch on that entry pass. So the Falcons have cut the advantage to 4. Peters working against Mangan. Dribble handoff. They get it inside to Kramer. Kick back out, and that ball is poked away.
15-time close.
Poked away by Gannon Perlini.
For Connor Taddy. Number 5, Sam Callahan in the game.
Got to credit Danny Cohen with some
For Mike Morgan.
great energy off the bench for Pennsbury. Right there, active hands, knocking that out of bounds. And the Rams, with 25.6 to go in the first quarter, put it in play. Campione tries the scoop shot, no good. Bounces around, finally picked up by Kozak. Kozak out to Sam Callahan, who's cut off, still gets the shot up and good.
Sam Callahan.
Makes it 8-6. Here's Peters, long 2, off the mark. And at the buzzer, That was Cohen who got the rebound
The first quarter.
and tried that one right at the end of the first quarter. Didn't get it to go, so Pennsbury trailing. It's Pennridge 8, Pennsbury 6. After one quarter of play in the McCaffrey's game of the night. We'll step aside and return for more high school basketball on the WBCB Sports Network.
Please report to...
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true. Whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
Well, not a great shooting night for either team. 8-6 after the first quarter, and the Pennsbury Falcons 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. The Pennridge Rams, they missed 2 times from the three-point range, so nobody is knocking them down so far tonight, but we're in the early going. And a nice job by Coach Emmy and the coaching staff for Pennsbury to recognize the flow of the game, call that timeout. It felt like out of that timeout, the Falcons have started to turn this thing around.
Yeah, really starting to figure things out, get a couple points scored, and just getting back to what they do normally in this game.
Yeah, Falcons on a 6-0 run. Campione for 3. That's no good, but an offensive rebound, and here's Fisher. He fires away, not that time, batted around, and Kramer wins that fight for the rebound. Rams have been good on the glass tonight. They've had that advantage. Cutting through there is Caden Fisher. Fisher rejected. Danny Cohen with the D. Says, not this time, buddy.
You know, might not be a lot of offense in today's game so far, but sure as heck of a defense being displayed here.
And Cohen, not only has he brought that scoring in here, he launches a 3. Boom. Right on cue. Not only the defense, but the offense. And ball knocked away out of bounds by Kozak. Falcons finally hit from beyond the arc now, 1 for 5. And that three-pointer puts them in the lead. 9-8 our score in the McCaffrey's game of the night. A little more than a minute gone in the second quarter. Perlini, and right now the Pennridge offense seems to have ground to a halt. Kozak working against Kramer. He kicks out 3 on the way. In and out. Perlini misses. Kozak driving left. Second time he had a layup just creep off the rim tonight. The other way, Peters, not that time, and coming away with the rebound. That time, the fight won by Sam Callahan for the loose ball. Callahan over to Mangan. Mangan working against Peters. Finally gives it up to Danny Cohen, and the Falcons slowing things down.
Try to change the pace right here. See if we can get something out of it.
Try to run a play, maybe a little pick and roll. Kozak now in the paint, drops it off, and it's Danny Cohen who's the recipient of that gift. Makes it 11-8, Falcons by 3. Here Perlini up top now to Peters. Perlini gets it back. Here's Peters, looked like open for 3. Instead, he'll drive, shot blocked. Zuckerman in transition. Euro step, and his shot looked like ball up top, but maybe some contact there as the whistle goes against Tommy Kramer. And Zuckerman steps to the free throw line for 2. Falcons really have captured the momentum of this game from the point of that timeout in the first quarter up until this moment of 5:14 to go in the half. After Zuckerman missed both at the line, you know he loved to see that first one go in. And he'll get another look from the stripe. Gets them both this time. And extends the Falcon lead to 5. 13-8 our score. Onto the floor for Pennsbury comes Eric David. Gets his first minutes tonight. The Falcons lost Peters, but the pass was a little bit behind him, and he didn't really get enough to go on the break there. Here's Perlini for 3. Long rebound, Connor Taddy tipped it, but it's kept by the Rams. Another 3, this time Ryan Haas.
Ryan Haas for 3.
And he hits to make it 13-11. Now 1 for 7 from three-point land for Pennridge. They keep firing away. Haas off the bench gives them their first three-pointer. Ty Kozak takes the basketball, pulls up, and that time his jumper was halfway down and popped back out again. Campione in transition. He pulls up for a J, knocks it down.
Nice little backdoor cut to a jump stop for the jumper right there.
Got us all tied up at 13 apiece. Campione with 4, Connor Taddy with the pull-up jumper. That one went halfway down and came back out again. Danny Cohen thought about the shot, instead drives, kicks out. Here's Taddy. Over to Kozak. Kozak from the elbow knocks it down, and he raises his hands up to say, finally, one of my shots goes through the cylinder. That bucket makes it 15-13. Campione nearly gets his pocket picked, and he stepped out of bounds. So the Falcons get the turnover.
Number 2, Mike Grandi. Number 1, Teddy Mangan. And 25, Ryan
Yeah, hot
Zuckerman.
start to this game by Pennridge, but you feel the tide's turning right now for Pennsbury.
And a good first half tonight. We've gone back and forth. Pennsbury coming from behind to now lead it 15-13. But you can tell the Rams, they're not done, and they have a lot to say here with 3:37 to go in the second quarter. For Pennsbury, Taddy, Mangan, David Zuckerman, and Rocco Grandi. And here's Mike Rocco Grandi. Takes it in, drops it off on the baseline to David. David's layup a little bit too strong, too high off the glass. And here come the Rams. Pump fake from Busing. Now Peters, who kind of runs the show at the point for Pennridge, calls out a play, gives it over to Campione, goes off of his foot, loose on the floor, and they're going to call a tie-up. And it's good for Pennsbury. They got the arrow. So we're going the other way with 3:01 to go. Second quarter action.
Both teams doing a good job hustling to that ball right there to get the tie up. In a close game like this, you're going to need it.
Mangan over the timeline. Rocco Grandi up top to Taddy. Around the other side of the floor to Mangan. Tries the entry to Eric David. It's tipped away by Campione. Up the floor to Peters, who rises and scores.
Nice finish there.
Peters has 4 points and ties us up at 15 apiece. Now Connor Taddy will hold and get the offense going. Clear out the right side. Falcons in no hurry. Now Rocco Grandi gets it started. Step back jumper is good. Nice footwork by the sophomore. Makes it 17-15. And then Xavier Peters driving, and a whistle foul. That's going to go against Teddy Mangan. Mangan picks up his first, third team foul for the Falcons, and 3 team fouls for Pennridge. They enter into Fisher. Fisher, a little hook shot, comes up short, rebounded by Zuckerman. Up the floor to Kozak. Kozak going left, and it's tipped out of bounds. the Pennridge coach, Dean Behrens, he's off the bench. He thought that should be the Rams basketball. Officials see it differently, and they get it around to Zuckerman. Zuckerman to Taddy, who got it poked away temporarily by Fisher. Spin move in the lane, and Zuckerman couldn't hold that pivot foot. A traveling violation gives it back to Pennridge.
Saw a great opportunity to use the spin move, but Chuck just couldn't keep that pivot foot still.
Couldn't keep it down, and Pennridge will walk it up the floor, trailing by a bucket. McCaffrey's game of the night on the WBCB Sports Network. Great to have you with us. Rams nearly lose it as Busing holds onto it. They launch a three, no good, and then it's tipped out of bounds. And it goes to the orange and black. Falcon basketball with 1:27 to go, first half. Ryan Haas back on the floor for the Pennridge Rams. So is Gannon Perlini. Falcons with the basketball. Kozak making moves against Perlini. And he scores on him. Masterful job by Ty Kozak. Gives him 4 points, and the Falcons a 4-point advantage. Around now, here's Haas. Up top to Peters. This time some crisp movement by Pennridge in this set, but it's all around the perimeter. Peters cut off by Mangan, kicks out. Driving is Busing, and he gets a whistle, and I think that whistle kind of bailed him out. Looked like he was losing control of the basketball, but the whistle goes against Kozak. And Busing with a couple of free throws coming up.
Yeah, 3 points there, like you said, Chris. It looked like he was losing it, and Pennsbury just committing the foul, taking him to the free throw line.
Number 4, Matt Campione in the game.
Busing gets the shooter's bounce, drops through to make it 19-16. And Busing gets them both. Makes it a 2-point game with under 40 seconds remaining. Mike Rocco Grandi with the basketball out here on the wing, gives it up to Kozak at the top of the key. And the Falcons will try to hold for the final shot of the first half. Kozak now getting counted. It goes around the defender.
Yeah, you want to make sure you hold on to this lead going into the halftime.
Jump shot there from Kozak off the glass. Well defended by the Rams, and now the Rams maybe will have an opportunity for a shot at the buzzer. Campione goes in and out, and Zuckerman fires that one on a laser beam down the floor.
Thinking he's playing baseball there.
It's halftime, and the Falcons now in the lead in the McCaffrey's game of the night. It's 19-17. And we will step aside briefly. We'll return for the halftime ceremonies. Also take a look at first half scoring and first half numbers. Get you ready for second half action. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Right back in a bit.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. More people are online every day to check and pay their bills. Now you can have your BCWSA utility bill delivered electronically. Enrollment couldn't be easier. Just go to bcwsa.net or call 800-222-2068. With electronic billing, you have control to see your bills whenever you want and enjoy the convenience of viewing and printing up to 13 months of your previous bills. Best of all, the service is free. Sign up for e-billing at bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
You are not just building a company, you are helping to build your community. For 150 years, Penn Community Bank has been strengthening our region, serving as a trusted partner and resource for businesses like yours. Our team of business bankers can get you where you need to go. Real relationships, expert advice, swift solutions to power your growth. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
The Gator, Jerry Blavitt, inviting you to come on by and experience true traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant at 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You're always welcome at the restaurant. I mean, it's like stepping back in time. You feel like you're dining in South Philadelphia or in New York's Little Italy restaurant. You can start the meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. You choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood, steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The restaurant is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private rooms are available for special affairs, plus we do catering. Remember, the Revere Restaurant, 609-882-6365. Again, that's 609-882-6365. Come on home and experience the true taste of Italy at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Back at Pennsbury High School, Falcons on top 19-17 at the half against the Pennridge Rams, and we're moments away from the start of our halftime Hall of Fame ceremonies. It is Hall of Fame night for the Falcons, and we'll quickly take a look at some of the first half scoring. And we may be cut off by Dan Mahoney. If that's the case, we'll just get back to it a little bit later.
He's walking with a purpose right now.
I heard, Gus, that it may be a bit of an extended halftime because of all the guys that they will be honoring and recognizing, some special guests with us tonight. And it looks like Dan Mahoney now with the microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have your attention? We have a very special presentation this evening. In attendance tonight, we have some special honorary guests as we celebrate the storied history of Pennsbury basketball. Tonight, we honor our Pennsbury Athletic Hall of Fame inductees from the boys basketball program, along with our most recent inductee from the class of 2022. First, from the class from the 1970s, class of 1971, Kevin Kelleher. Next, from the class of 1972, Jess Toner. And from the class of 1972 Big Orange Award winner, Wayne Emmy. Next, from the class of 1974, Bob Crouch. And to finish off the 1970s, class of 1974, Rick Baxter Jr. Now we move on to the 1980s. Class of 1984, John Burns. Class of 1982, two-time Big Orange Award winner, Gary Jones. From the class of 1979 Big Orange Award winner, Jack Pepper. Jack is represented tonight by his wife Cheryl and sons Brandon and Sean, also graduates of Pennsbury. Next, from the class of 1980, two-time Big Orange Award winner Rick Block, and class of 1985, three-time Big Orange Award winner Chris Block. Rick and Chris Block are represented tonight by sister Amy Patterson and her husband Paul Pepe. Finally, the legend himself, the coach of the Falcons from 1971 to 1986, Coach Ed Cochran. Now we move on to the 2000s. Joining his father, 2002 graduate Clayton Cochran. Next, a 2000 graduate, two-time Big Orange Award winner and Pennsbury assistant coach, Kurt Bergman. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, our newest inductee from the boys basketball program into the Pennsbury Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 1991, two-time Big Orange Award winner, Dustin DeFazio. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our Basketball Hall of Fame inductees.
That is great to recognize these guys. Hall of Fame night. It's halftime. The Pennsbury Falcons on top of the Pennridge Rams, 19-17. And to see a guy like Ed Cochran get recognized brings me back to the days when he was doing color commentary on WBCB with Vince Reed. And Coach Cochran would always say, I don't want to be biased, but I see orange out of one eye and black out of the other eye. He was great. He was awesome.
That's how it is, too, especially with these former Pennsbury alumni and alma mater. Me being a Pennsbury graduate myself, it's really no other way. You look orange in one eye, black in the other. You always got the orange and black in you.
And Kurt Bergman also recognized the 1,000-point scorer for Pennsbury basketball, and a couple of seasons ago, he did a bunch of color commentary for us for the girls basketball team, which was a lot of fun. He was breaking down the plays and really got us inside the action. Well, terrific Hall of Fame ceremony at halftime. The other thing, great to recognize all of these guys, and I don't want to take anything away from their accomplishments, but I didn't see them play. And I'm waiting for the next wave of Hall of Famers to come through.
We already talked about it.
I'm really excited to have them recognize Lavoy Allen and Dalton Pepper specifically. Those guys were kind of at the beginning of my WBCB career, at their peak of their performances at Pennsbury. But that'll be awesome to see Dalton Pepper and Lavoy Allen at some point in time go into the Pennsbury Falcon Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I remember when I heard about Lavoy Allen, I heard he was from out here at Pennsbury. I couldn't believe it. Such a high-profile talent.
And, great Temple player, great NBA player, and you still see him come back and be a part of the Pennsbury community as well. It's Hall of Fame night tonight. The other thing that's kind of, I got to do the math to see how many points the Pepper family is responsible for in Pennsbury basketball. Jack Pepper was a 1,000-point scorer. Dalton Pepper was a 2,000-point scorer.
Yeah.
I think one of those Peppers that was out there on the floor tonight, he might have scored 1,000 points. No question that the Pepper family has scored more points than any other Pennsbury family when you talk about the legends of Pennsbury basketball.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I remember watching Dalton and all of them, and my dad telling me about their dad and how good he was. So it's just funny, the generations of Peppers. And like you said, that's a lot of points scored through Pennsbury. It's got to be at least like 5,000.
Yeah, I think we got to do the math, like I said. I also was talking with Coach Frank Ciola, head coach of the girls basketball team at Pennsbury, and was just talking about how long you have to be retired, what the rules are for the Pennsbury Athletics Hall of Fame. And he said, you got to be retired, I think, for 5 years before they consider you to go into the Pennsbury Athletics Hall of Fame. That's great, but maybe we should create a separate rule or an exception for Frank McSherry, the head coach of the Pennsbury softball team.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's one of those guys. He's like a lifer. I mean, you talk to Merrill Reese. He says, "I'm never going to retire. They're going to have to drag me out of the broadcast booth because I don't want to retire." And I think maybe the same thing for Coach McSherry.
They're going to have to drag that fungo bat out of his hand and get him out of that dugout because he's not going to let it up.
Right.
There's, like you said, there's some of these guys that are just not going to give it up.
So, Coach Ciola, I think, suggesting a good exception for another Pennsbury legend when it comes to high school softball. Well, it's a fun night tonight. Hall of Fame night. Falcons up by a bucket at the break. And we'll take a look at first half scoring. A lot of even, nobody really stepping up and scoring big numbers. Balanced scoring for both teams. For the visiting Pennridge Rams, 4 points coming from Tommy Kramer, 4 from Matt Campione, and 4 from Caden Fisher. All of those guys starters for Dean Behrens. And then Ryan Haas off the bench, he hit a 3. And the other starter out there, Jake Busing, he hit a couple of free throws in the second quarter. And that gives the Rams 17 for the Pennsbury Falcons. Again, a bunch of guys with 4 from Zuckerman, 4 from Kozak, 4 points coming from Danny Cohen off the bench. And then they got a bucket from Connor Taddy, 2 from Mike Rocco Grandi, and 1 from Teddy Mangan. So Mangan's got 2 as he hits from the floor. The Falcons with 19. Both teams committing 4 turnovers in the first half. Both teams doing pretty good at the line and not shooting great from the three-point line. The two teams combining to go 2 for 12 from beyond the arc. Pennsbury 1 for 5, Pennridge 1 for 7. And Pennridge, the one stat line that kind of pops out a little bit, Pennridge was 17 rebounds to Pennsbury's 9. So they have dominated the glass and given themselves some second chance opportunities at the offensive end, but they haven't been able to necessarily capitalize, and that's why the Falcons are up 19-17 at halftime, and it looks like we're just about to get back to action. Thanks to DiLorenzo's Pizza, the Berg Pizza, 8919 New Falls Road in Levittown, owned and operated by Tyler DiLorenzo, and he uses the same recipes his great-grandparents did back in the 1940s in Trenton's famous Chambersburg section. Try that original Trenton tomato pie at DiLorenzo's. Want to thank Tyler for hooking us up with some great pizzas. For Wendy Coons, it was her last day at WBCB, our longtime office manager. We wish her well in her retirement as we get back to action in the Pennsbury Falcons with a steal. Ty Kozak gets fouled, and he goes to the line. Couldn't quite get that shot to go over the rim. But yeah, we had a Trenton tomato pie, some pepperoni pizza. It was all great, and thanks to DiLorenzo's.
Can't go wrong with pizza.
I mean, they hooked us up in the sense that they made great pizza.
Yeah.
We paid for the pizza.
Obviously.
But DiLorenzo is so good to us, they pass along a gift certificate to our player of the game. So they're always hooking up somebody. And certainly great pizza at DiLorenzo's. Kozak with 1 of 2. At the line, and it's 2017 Falcons. Driving there, and foul called. I think they're going to get Zuckerman. No, Rocco Grandi
Fouls on number 2, Mike Rocco Grandi, his first.
picks up the foul, his first of the night.
Matt Campione to the line, shooting 2.
And Campione, 2 looks from the line, can't get the first. Yeah, the other thing that was cool about that Hall of Fame ceremony was that head coach Wes Emmy gets to share a moment with his father, Big Orange Award winner Wayne Emmy, who also is a member of the Pennsbury Athletics Hall of Fame. So 1 of 2 for the Rams at the line. So 20-18 our score. Zuckerman in the paint, out to Rocco Grandi. Step back, thinks about the 3, instead gives it up. Kozak from the same spot, drives, kicks out to Mangan. Up top, Zuckerman.
Ryan Zuckerman for 3.
Drains that 3-pointer. Just as cool as the other side of the pillow, makes it 23-18. There's Peters with the runner, a little bit too strong that time. Zuckerman with the board, over to Kozak. Kozak, hesitation drive. No, fights for the loose ball, and it's gonna go off of Kozak's knee. And back to Pennridge.
And after that Hall of Fame speech that we just had, Pennsbury is coming out here trying to send a message to Pennridge.
And almost getting a steal there is Mangan. He does knock it loose, and a timeout is called by Pennridge. And they were just about to lose it, so a good time
30-second
for the timeout.
Pennridge.
Gives us a moment to let you know, for complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Auto Group. For value and service on all makes and models, free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service, a 10% military and law enforcement discount. You buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. All service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi, big comfy waiting rooms, free Wi-Fi, early drop-off, and check out a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where their business is you. And on the weekends, Peruzzi open on Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 in the afternoon. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning till 6 p.m. As we're back to action, the Rams out of the timeout. Nearly lost it right there. But it's picked up by Peters. He drives, hangs, gets the shot off, but can't hit it. Zuckerman over to Mangan, quickly up the floor to Kozak. Nice entry to Zuckerman.
Ryan Zuckerman.
Strong finish to make it 25-18 at the other end. A foul will send Campione to the line for 2. And they get Rocco Grandi. A couple of third-quarter fouls for Rocco Grandi. That one coming with 5:54 to go, third quarter. Chris Ermer with Gus Barber, Mackay Gundy, and Ben Goldstein. From Fairless Hills, PA, Campione makes it 25-19 here in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Gets them both and cuts the lead to 5. Mangan jogs it over the timeline. Ty Kozak gives it back to Mangan. Bounces to Zuckerman. In the post against Kramer. Goes up for the shot, takes contact, and gets the whistle. Shot comes up short, but Zuckerman steps up. 2 from the stripe.
Fouls on 31, Tommy Kramer.
Coming up next for Pennsbury, they will visit Souderton. Zuckerman hits his first of 2 to make it 26-20. Then the Falcons back at home against CB East. They hit the road to take on the Bucks of CB West, and then back here against CB South. So they got all the CBs coming up in this SOL crossover part of their schedule. Fisher looking for somewhere to go with that basketball. Finally gets it to Haas. Haas, little hook shot, no. Cleaned up by Zuckerman. Kozak nearly lost the dribble, stays with it. Rises and scores. Between three defenders, makes it 28-20. Kozak now with 6. And Connor Taddy with the steal. Euro step in the lane, goes for the reverse, no, but Kozak with the stick back. Kozak makes it a 10-point lead. Falcons nearly with another steal, but you heard the contact just in front of us, and the whistle goes against Ty Kozak.
Pennsbury coming out playing aspired basketball, doing everything they can to create the separation.
Rams bounce it into Peters. Up top there's Fisher with it. Around to Peters, takes it to the elbow. Nice cut into the basket by Perlini. But Perlini, great spot on the floor, but he just couldn't finish. Kozak fakes the drive, and now he'll pull back, give it to Mangan. Mangan dribble handoff. Kozak drives and scores with the left. Taken over in the third quarter here is Ty Kozak. It's now a 12-point Pennsbury lead. That time, too strong from Campione. Zuckerman drives. Fouled by Fisher. So he'll step up to the free throw line.
Ryan Zuckerman to the line, shooting 2. Number 3, Danny Cohen. Number 5, Sam Brown in the game. For Mike Rocket Brandy and Ty Kozak.
Falcons outscoring the Rams in the third quarter 13-3. And Zuckerman, after missing his first 2 free throws tonight, he has been great at the line. And now a timeout called by the Rams, a full timeout with 3:41 to go in the third quarter. It's Pennsbury 34 and the Pennridge Rams 20. We'll step aside and return for more high school hoops action on the WBCB Sports Network.
Day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
All right, we're doing the Falcon flap with Pennsbury on top 34-20. And don't forget, if you miss any of the action on BCB, you can read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage that you can count on 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Back to action, and a full court pass up to Fisher. Caden Fisher, shot's no good, but he gets the whistle. Fouled by Zuckerman.
2025, Ryan Zuckerman, his second. Caden Fisher to the line, shooting 2.
Nice hustle by Zuckerman just to get back defensively, but Pennridge Rams there with a long pass.
Looked like a football pass.
Yeah. They threw the bomb.
Touchdown.
Fisher gets one of two. 34-21, Pennsbury in front. Connor Taddy with the dribble. Here just in front of us, hands it off to Teddy Mangan. High post to Zuckerman. Shovels it back to Taddy, who rises for the jump shot off the back rim. No, rebounded by Perlini. Perlini up top, pass deflected by Mangan and intercepted by Connor Taddy. Falcons out there with Taddy, Cohen, Callahan, Zuckerman, and Mangan. Mangan with the dribble, guarded by Peters. And hands off to Cohen all the way across the floor to Taddy. Long three on the way, off the back rim. No, long rebound is loose and finally gathered up, given to Peters. Another runner.
Xavier Peters.
Second time that Peters has hit that little running shot, and he makes it 34-23, 11-point game. Taddy over to Cohen. Campione all over him. They try to get it down low to Callahan, but the pass was low, and the Rams take it away. Peters looked like he wanted to go inside to Fisher, but Fisher double teamed in there. So he'll step out and try a three-pointer, but that's no good. And Taddy with the rebound over to Cohen. Gets it back from him. Now here's Sam Callahan up top to Danny Cohen. Those two, a little two-man game. Now a kick out to Zuckerman. Little spin move in the paint, right hand, yes. He's having a great game. Zuckerman now, I got him for 10 in the third quarter. (36-23), Pennsbury in front. Peters around defenders and scores as he drives and uses the left hand.
Trying to keep his team within this game right here.
Gets it back to an 11-point Pennsbury lead. Mangan up top to Zuckerman, and yeah, Zuckerman has taken over along with Ty Kozak in the third quarter. Mangan lost his footing, thought that might have been called a walk, but officials don't see it that way, and Perlini comes away with the steal, pulls up with the jumper. No, his miss is finally gathered up by Callahan, who gives it over to Danny Cohen. Cohen, that dribble was so high, a Pennridge coaching staff jumping off the bench. They thought that was a carry for sure, but they don't get the whistle. And the Pennsbury Falcons call a timeout. They saw it getting a little sloppy, and so they're going to settle things down with 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by Jammer Doors and Windows, a fourth generation family-owned and operated business since 1920 with showrooms in Lawrenceville and Yardley. Jammer with sales, service, and installation of garage doors and openers. They also have entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and windows, and they do their own work and installation using no subcontractors. Visit their showroom. They're at 2850 Brunswick Pike on Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and in Yardley, PA. Their showroom open by appointment. Call 215-493-7709. Jammer Doors and Windows, 101 years of quality and commitment, and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Back to action, and the Pennridge Rams almost get the steal. Instead, Kozak to Callahan, fires away. The shot goes off the top of the backboard and is brought down by Perlini. And then Perlini, and ball goes out, about 7 seconds left for the Rams. Peters around Rocco Grandi, but can't finish. That would count, but it comes up well short.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
So after 3 quarters of action, it's Pennsbury 36, Pennridge 25 in the McCaffrey's game of the night. We're coming back with more on the WBCB Sports Network, sponsored by Jammer Doors and Windows.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Over at the PHS West Gym. That's this Saturday from 9 to 10.
All right, back at the Falcons' nest, Pennsbury 36, Pennridge 25. As we get the 4th quarter underway, Chris Ermer, Gus Barber doing our video engineering, helping with the call of the game. Makai Gundy on the call and behind the camera, and Ben Goldstein helping with stats and analysis here tonight behind the table, as Danny Cohen will inbound just in front of us, and we get the 4th quarter underway. Falcons with a dominant 3rd quarter to open up this 11-point lead. Cohen up top, fires away, no good, and then Eric David with the rebound, and he takes a foul.
That was number 13, Xavier Peters.
Nice physical play by the 6'1 junior David, one of the standout members of the Pennsbury Falcon football team. Now working with Kozak over on that wing. Kozak, hesitation drive, a little too strong. It's batted away. Perlini comes up with it. Up the floor to Fisher. Fisher hands off that time to Tommy Kramer. Kramer gets out of some trouble. Nice pass over to Peters. Peters with a spin move jump shot, and he hits it. Well, you're right, Makai. He's kind of helping his team stay in this game in the 2nd half.
Yeah, doing everything he can to keep his team's hopes alive.
Rocco Grandi working against Peters now. Goes around him and gives it off to Danny Cohen. Cohen to Callahan, out to Kozak. Pennsbury with kind of a small lineup here. Zuckerman on the bench to start the 4th quarter. Kick out here to Cohen. At 3 was a wide open look, but a little too strong. Here the other way, Peters kick out to Perlini. Perlini's pass taken away by Kozak. And Kozak fouled by Campione. We talked about Kozak's vision on the offensive end. Right there you see his experience, and he knew where that basketball was going to go, and he jumped the route, or jumped the passing lane. Now I'm thinking football, jumping routes. But he got in the passing lane, took that one away, and Mike Rocco Grandi over midcourt, spin move in the lane. He tries to kick out, almost taken away. David loses it. Finally gathered by Kramer. Kramer going the other way, and that time Eric David with a poke away. Active hands there. It ends up going off the Rams.
If you want to know how to make a basketball team, active hands is one thing that you could be sure of that the coach is looking for.
Danny Cohen, Euro step in the lane.
Danny Cohen.
Great balance to get that shot off by Cohen. Makes it 38-27. Pennsbury back up by 11 at the other side. Peters gets a trip to the line. He's fouled by Mangan. So 2 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. And Pennridge Rams still hanging in there. But they've dug themselves a hole they can't really afford.
Number 10, Connor Taddy in the game.
Any kind of poor free throw shooting or missed opportunities like that. Connor Taddy back into the game for Eric David. So Peters gets 1 of 2. Falcons by 10, 38-28. Now the Rams with a little pressure in the backcourt. Trying to trap Cohen. Nice job to find Zuckerman in the middle of the floor. Out to Taddy. Thought about a 3, but the Falcons want to work the clock a little bit, I think. Kozak goes inside. First shot is blocked. He gets his own miss, puts that one up, and can't hit that either now. Rams coming the other way. Peters with the quickness scores, and it's an 8-point game. Mangan up top to Kozak. Here's Taddy, he's open. Can't hit the 3, and then flying in is Ty Kozak. He gets a piece of the ball, it goes out of bounds, and it's last off the Rams. Great effort by Kozak. And great basketball IQ. They inbound to him, and 1. We talked about active strength hands, Makai. You also need strong hands. Right there, they inbounded to Kozak. He's strong enough to kind of shed that defender.
Yeah, like you said earlier, they decided to go in with a smaller lineup, but that doesn't mean that the guys on this team don't have strong hands either.
Kozak can't complete the 3-point play, and it's Falcons by 10, 40-30. That ball tipped away by guess who? Ty Kozak. Mangan brings it up the floor, drops off to Taddy. Taddy's shot is negated by a Caden Fisher block. Back the other way, kick out. Here's Perlini for 3. That's short. Long rebound gathered up by Campione. Working against Zuckerman, goes through the paint and is pushed by Zuckerman.
Foul number 25, Ryan Zuckerman, his 3rd.
Zuckerman picks up his 3rd. Next foul committed by Pennsbury will put the Rams in the bonus. With just over 4.5 to go, 4th quarter. Pull-up jump shot, no. And they're gonna say he was fouled. I guess the defender got him on the arm.
Foul number 3, Danny Cohen.
And Peters felt the contact, goes up with the shot, and
Peters to the line.
earns a couple at the line.
Pennridge in the bonus now, too.
Number 2, Mike Roccagrandi in the game.
Felt the defender on his arm right there, decided to pull up with it, and luckily he was able to get him under the arm for the shot for the foul. I'm surprised you don't see more of it. Maybe at the college level you probably do.
Peters now in double digits. And I think at the college and NBA level, you get that whistle more consistently. Not so much at the high school level, but the officials right on top of that. And Peters makes it an 8-point game, hitting a couple at the line. Mike Roccagrandi to the free throw line. Picks up the dribble. Now Zuckerman gives it back to him out on the wing. Little jump step move. Can't finish at the rim, and here's Caden Fisher bringing it up the floor. Around the perimeter to Peters. Peters from 3-point land. Nope, and Zuckerman, you see his athleticism there, just skies for that rebound. But his pass, too much on it.
He's made some nice passes here today, but just on that one, just a little low.
Roccagrandi couldn't handle it. So see if Pennridge can cut a little further into this Falcon lead with 3.5 to go, 4th quarter. Campione rises up. Kozak was right there defensively on him. A tough shot. It's missed, and it rebounded by Zuckerman. Kozak takes the handoff, goes right into the chest of Campione, and scores. to make it a 10-point game again. And Pennridge Rams answer right back. Peters with a three-pointer. And he's doing all he can to keep his team in it with just over 3 to go. Timeout on the floor.
Full timeout, Pennridge.
A full timeout taken by the Pennridge Rams. So we'll let you know that tonight's game brought to you by the Trentonian. Complete local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's in the pages of the Trentonian. And registration is now open for the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League. 30 plus years, and they want to wish both the Pennsbury girls and boys the best of luck this year. Many of the players out there for the Pennsbury boys basketball team and the Pennsbury girls basketball team got their start at the Pennsbury, the PRBL, Pennsbury Regional Basketball League. Go online and find out all the details. Make sure you don't get left out. Registration at prblonline.com. Good luck, Falcons, from the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League. They are proud to support you, and we thank them for their support of high school hoops on the WBCB Sports Network. I'm going over to Trenton tomorrow. You doing any Friday games, Gus or Mackay?
I have Trenton Central Girls tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be with you for that game.
Cool.
I am doing nothing tomorrow. I am completely free.
Well, that sounds good. As the Falcons get back to action, Kozak breaking the pressure up to Zuckerman. And Zuckerman just holds, waits for his teammates to come up the floor and gives it to Cohen. Danny Cohen with a little nifty dribbling, and for the Falcons, if their guards can control the pace from here on out, they should be able to get another W. Here's Zuckerman driving. Shot's no good, but Fisher fouls him. Sends him for 2 at the line.
Yeah, with that foul, it puts Pennsbury in the bonus too, so both teams in the bonus right now.
To the line, shooting 2.
Up next for the Pennridge Rams, they got Neshaminy next Tuesday. Nice job, Zuckerman hits at the line. And then Council Rock North next Thursday. So for Pennridge, an SOL Colonial team, they're playing all the Patriot Division teams. And Pennsbury, an SOL Patriot team, they're playing all the Colonial Division competition as we get back to high school hoops in this 2022-2023 winter athletics season. Falcons need a stop. Campione, three-pointer, no good. Kramer fighting for the rebound, but Zuckerman knocks it to his teammate. Kozak fouled right in front of us, no whistle.
Yeah.
And then Campione, his pass as he drives in is taken away by Mangan. Kozak is still down at that end of the floor because he got knocked to the floor and finishes with the layup. Long shot, no, and Zuckerman fouled by Campione.
Fouls at number 4, Matt Campione has scored.
Campione pushing him from behind as they jostle for the rebound.
Number 3, Cannon Permini.
And like Gus said, they are in the bonus, so they will be heading to the line.
32, Ryan Haas.
1-1 here for Zuckerman.
25, Ryan Zuckerman to the line, shooting 1-1.
Falcons in the driver's seat on Hall of Fame night, up 11 with 1:48 remaining. But Zuckerman misses the front end. And Hayden Fisher of the Rams gives it to Peters. His three-pointer is short. Rebounded by Haas. Hook shot, no. And Kozak with the loose ball. And then as he starts to dribble it up the floor, a reach-in foul on Pennridge.
That was number 31, Tommy Kramer.
Falcons really turning around that rebounding advantage that the Rams had in the first half. Rams had a pretty sizable halftime rebound advantage, and now Falcons with 24 rebounds overall. Same thing for the Rams. 20 defensive rebounds for the Falcons and 4 offensive rebounds. And Kozak missing the front end. Haas for 3. Off the back rim, rebounded by Zuckerman. Over to Kozak, and he'll just hold for a moment. Falcons want to slow things down, eat up some clock. They got to get over the timeline. They do. And now Kozak takes some contact and gets the whistle.
Foul number 3, Gannon Perlini first.
Perlini called for the foul. In the middle part of the game, the Falcons were really good at the line, not great at the very beginning, but here in the fourth quarter, they've kind of come up cold again.
Number 1, Marley Stewart.
And Kozak turns that narrative right around. Hits the free throw, makes it 47-35. And Coach Dean Behrens pulling his starters off the floor.
And we got Pennsbury's coming off.
And the Falcons will make some wholesale changes as well. Kozak misses the second. It remains 47-35. Marley Stewart, here's Haas with it. Over to Tom Costa. 3 off the front of the rim, and Cohen quickly up the floor to Zuckerman. And the Falcons realize they do not have to shoot the basketball. And a timeout taken by Pennsbury that will allow some of those second stringers to get a few seconds of action tonight. And for the starters to hear the recognition of the Pennsbury crowd. 6 wins in a row now for the Falcons.
Yeah, an impressive stretch too.
They'll improve to 8-3 and to 4-1 in conference play. Kick out right there to Kieran Shaw. They get it inside. Faust comes up short, sticks with it, and scores. You know, some people describe it as mop-up time. I've heard people say garbage time, but one of my favorite parts of these games where the score is lopsided, you get some backups coming in, is that the crowd just goes wild for these guys when they score.
It is the best. It's nothing like seeing a bench player that the fans love just getting in and getting the score.
Well, that'll be the end of tonight's game as the final seconds come off the clock.
We'll see you next Thursday.
And the Falcons win it 49-35.
Have a great weekend.
An impressive win. Again, Falcons improving now to 8-3, and they drop the Pennridge Rams to 7-5 overall on the season. All right, we got to figure out our Pennsbury player of the game. Certainly Ryan Zuckerman or Ty Kozak would be good candidates, but I think I might go for Danny Cohen, who played very well and has been a double-digit scorer in the tournament that they played, that Wildwood Boardwalk tournament. And we got to spread these gift cards out to as many players as we can. Thanks to DiLorenzo's for helping to make our post-game interviews just a little bit more interesting, as we'll talk with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a little bit. You know, sometimes they just send somebody over to us as well. They're pointing out Zuckerman.
Showing Zuckerman.
All right, so let's talk with Ryan Zuckerman here. McCaffrey's game of the night. You know, let's start out by talking with Coach Emmy before we talk with our player of the game. That's brought to you by DiLorenzo's Pizza. Congratulations on tonight's win, Coach. Must have been a great moment where you get to recognize your father as part of the Pennsbury Hall of Fame, and just a great halftime ceremony. What did you make of tonight's events?
Yeah, Pennsbury basketball is a part of my life. It was a part of my childhood. It was a part of it's a part of me. It's part of my blood, you know, like my godfather, Rick Baxter, my father, Wayne Emmy. You know, you get it. There's a lot of legendary stories that got passed through my household as a kid. So it meant a lot to me to get to honor those guys because, the way we kind of look at it is there's 3 levels. There's the guys that are here now, there's the guys of the past, and then the guys of the future. We try to make sure that all those people are part of the program.
Well, 8-3 now, Coach. Congratulations on a good start to this season and a good break. What's the key? What's gotten things clicking for you guys?
I think we found an identity. I think our defensive identity has kind of come through, and I think on offense we've just become more comfortable as a group. And a lot of selflessness with the ball. We started slow today, but I think you saw in that third quarter what the team that we can be.
All right, we're going to talk with our
Absolutely.
player of the game,
Thank
Ryan
you, guys.
Zuckerman. Hold on in just 1 minute. Before we get to him, though, I want you to talk about this young man and the third quarter that he had along with Ty Kozak tonight. You guys seem to have a different mindset when you came out of the locker room.
Yeah, this guy right here, was like a blessing that was sent down to me, as a player. And tonight was his finest game as a Falcon. The things that he does, I don't coach. And you're just fortunate to have a guy like him on your roster. But he's just a better kid and a better leader. So, just really fortunate to have this
Well,
guy.
Coach Emmy, thanks for joining us for a little bit during our post-game activities, and congratulations on the start to the season. All right,
Future star right here, Ben Goldstein.
Awesome. It's great to have him with us doing our stats and analysis. All right, so I asked Coach Emmy what was the key to that third quarter turnaround. What was said in the locker room? What made the third quarter different than that first half?
I mean, we've been really rolling recently the past few games, and we know it. Everyone knows it. We're starting to get recognition, a little bit more respect from everybody else, and we had a little stall in the first half, and we went into halftime. We were like, dude, look, like we're not playing our best, and we're winning by 2 points. Like, if we get it together, this game's put away. We all came together. Coach always gives us a great game plan every day. They tell us exactly what we need to do, and honestly, they put it in our hands. And if we do what they ask, we're gonna be okay.
Well, what was the experience like being at that Wildwood Boardwalk Classic tournament? It must have been fun there. Kind of bring the team together. Kind of a collective vibe starting to grow.
I mean, like I said, it was at the time where we started rolling, and I mean, when you win, you have a lot of fun, and you go on trips like that. Like I went one for baseball last year. I was fortunate enough to do that, and it was kind of just like that. Like you go down, it's team bonding. It brings everyone together in a time where, January is a very packed month, and if you come together and you get rolling in January, you're going to have a lot of success.
Every once in a while, you'll see yourself open for a three-pointer opportunity. What's Coach Emmy's take on some of those longer shots? I mean, I would imagine he likes you to be inside and making your presence felt in the paint.
I think I hear it probably 15 times a practice how I need to be shooting the ball more.
Okay.
So honestly, it's on me to do it. They tell me to shoot more. They tell me, live out there, do you can do it. We trust you. We're confident in you, and they put it in my hands. They trust me.
You got the green light.
Yep.
What's the key for you guys to continue this momentum? Got some more big games coming up, some of these SOL crossover contests?
I think the biggest thing is play together. Like, it goes a long way playing as one. When you play as one, 5 guys playing as one is a lot better than 1 guy playing with 4 others. And I mean, if we come together and we trust each other, and play together, we're gonna be a tough team.
I mean, and looking at it from the outside, it seems like the confidence on the bench is starting to really grow. Those guys that now they know they can come in and play a role that's going to contribute to W's.
Honestly, you got to give more credit than we can even express to the bench. They do so much, and they picked us up in that first half. They picked us up when we were down, and it's that's how a team is. Pick up each other when you're down, and vice versa for everyone else.
Well, congratulations on the win for your efforts. DiLorenzo's player of the game,
Thank
so
you.
Enjoy that gift certificate, a little pizza, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thank
Ryan
you so much.
Zuckerman, player of the game here for the Pennsbury Falcons as they defeat the Pennridge Rams 47-35, and again now ripping off 6 straight wins for Pennsbury basketball. Thanks to the crew here on site. Ben Goldstein of Pennsbury now in first place. What's that in the league, Ben? In the SOL? Yeah, so a big win, obviously, as it puts the Falcons in first place. And we go back to their last loss, that Ben Salem game and the Chamonix. Those are really the main competition within the league right now. And the Falcons will have their crack at both the Redskins and the Owls a little bit later here in the month of January, or maybe into February for both of those teams. Either way, we're looking forward to that in a big, big way. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Jefferson Health, the Revere Restaurant, the McCaffrey's Supermarket, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Penn Community Bank, St. Mary Medical Center, Team Toyota, DiLorenzo's Pizza on New Falls Road, Jammer Doors and Windows, the Peruzzi Auto Group, the Trentonian, and the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League. Thanks to Mackay Gundy behind the camera helping to call the game, to Gus Barber doing our video engineering and helping to break it down for us as well, and to Ben Goldstein doing stats and analysis here alongside. And thanks to you for being with us. Again, Pennsbury with the win over Pennridge. Our final score tonight from the Falcons Nest. It was the Falcons 49 and the Pennridge Rams 35. Thanks for listening and watching Falcon basketball on the Pennsbury or on the WBCB Sports Network. Some people would say Pennsbury Sports Network, but the WBCB Sports Network. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.